Kingcayne.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go with that intro for now. Welcome to another Gems in Gaming. Today, like I said in the title, is like don't be afraid. Or I was saying don't be afraid to fail, but it's like what is there to fear? If I'm being honest with you. Excuse my voice today. Yeah, I had my wisdom teeth pulled not too long ago. I'm struggling a bit, but it's all good. You know why I'm like passionate about the topic for today? Because I recently took a leap of faith myself. I actually just ended up quitting my job. Yesterday was my last day. I had a career at a tech company, or currently at a tech company. I've been there for like 6 years. I achieved a lot. I did a lot. I didn't stop doing that to play games. Don't get the wrong impression. This is just a hobby for me. And in that hobby, I get to talk, about positive stuff. So that's really dope. But I left that place because I realized something very important. It wasn't bringing me any peace at all. And the thing about not being afraid to fail, or not fail, but just don't being afraid not being afraid in general, is because what do you think people were saying to me when I told people like, I'm about to quit? I'm making a decent amount of money, like I said. I'm in tech, which you should check out the School of Afro Tech, a video I've been putting out, or a series that I put out and work on, kind of talking a little bit about my journey and how I got there. I'm tripping. And, I was doing pretty good things. Like, people were hiring me, and people still do hire me to like consult. Oh, you know what? I actually need that guy. For their different types of businesses, I had a successful track record. I've been promoted every year that I was at this company. Like, I was doing impressive and major things. Here's the thing, though. Everyone's telling me not to leave. Right? Everyone's telling me like, oh wow, how could you leave that? Like, look at what you got, look at this, look at that. And I could have listened to that. And I ain't gonna lie to you, don't act like I ain't gonna say I didn't. For the most part, I was starting to get afraid of like leaving secure money. Like, it's it's a certain amount of bread, like it's this, it's that, like you start believing to doubt. And that's what will happen to you when you start to walk against the grain. Everyone will tell you you're crazy or you're wrong for doing it, or you should just do what they do. Everyone has a thought about how you should live your life. Right? When I started to listen to people and when I became a good mentor, I stopped like trying to tell people right and wrong and just give my perspective on the situation. Cause perspectives are different. Everyone goes through something different in life. So, I try my best whenever I'm listening to anyone that, needs assistance or needs help. I try my best. I ain't saying I do this perfectly, but, I try to just, keep it in that mindset. It's like, I don't have the same life that you have, same experiences that you have. Oh my God. We didn't grow up the same. It's a lot of things we probably don't have in common, but that doesn't mean you can't give advice or you can't take advice. That's not what I'm saying. Just because someone doesn't understand you completely doesn't mean they don't have wisdom. But here's the thing, it's like, is it wisdom that's driving their advice, or is it fear? Because if it's fear, like, don't need I don't even need to hear it. Right? I'm afraid enough without your advice. Like, what I need fearful advice for? Oh, they played me. Right? So like, if you're not gonna tell me anything new, if you're just gonna tell me, oh, don't do it, don't leave, like don't go, like, look, you got secure money coming in, bro. Like, I already know that. I already know that, and I got to a point where I want to leave and I want to quit. So what do you think you telling me? You think you telling me something revolutionary? Not really. The bigger question is, if I know all that, why would I want to leave at all? That's the more important question. if I got it like that, or if life is as dope as people are making it seem, working in tech and working in this place, then why would I feel the confidence now all of a sudden to bounce, to leave? That's like, letting clearly this place wasn't bringing me the peace that I require to be healthy, to be happy, to be satisfied in me. Bro, it ain't the job or whatever it is that people telling you to get and chase that's making you. That's not, come on now, that don't even make sense. Because if that was the case, then what they need me for? Okay, you saying they don't? Then okay, so they can get anybody, so they don't need you either. Right? Like, some people cool with living that way as long as they collect the check and go home. And that's dope for those people. I don't live my life that way. So, like, I think I said this, last week. I think it's, some stuff work for some people, other stuff work for others. And in this scenario, I'm the other that's like, nah, this ain't working for me. Right? I'm getting nervous. This ain't working for me. Like, it might work for y'all, it might work for some people, but it ain't working for me. Right? And to have that courage and to say that, especially to everyone who expects, you to do a certain type of thing or you to live a certain type of way, even though it's different than how they would do it. Like, you can't, oh my God. You can't listen to all that every time. Sometimes you gotta listen to yourself, listen to your gut, and have the courage to walk out anyway. Right? And I might have screwed up a point, but I'm getting distracted. I mean, that's the point of this. Right? I ain't gonna always spit the best of facts in the most articulate manner. I know it's not really helpful if I'm trying to, teach people or anything like that, but it's all good. I like experimenting. Yeah, kind of like, not being afraid and, at all. Right? So, I can't tell you that and then not do something on the internet, trying to be different or trying to be new or trying to experiment. What's the point of me not practicing what I preach? I do that in my regular life. Walk away from a role. And people are telling me not to walk away, not because I'm going somewhere else, but because I told them, I don't have a place I'm going yet. And, I'm still trying to figure that out. People are like, what? Like, why would you leave? Like, look at the money, look at this, look at that, look at the security. And it's all the people that was telling me this stuff. None of these people was there for me in the very, very beginning. That's the craziest part. None of these people were there for me at the start of this. Like, think about that. So when I had nothing, which I quite literally did or didn't when I started here at this place. No one was telling me where to look, where to apply, what to study, what to do, etc. Like, no one was telling me that. Like, no one was even around me when I had nothing. That's not ironic at all. Like, but that's the situation. So now I have nothing. People want to tell me, or people are not even around. People's tolerance with you is super low when you don't have nothing. Like, the belief in you is already not there. So now you got everything, and people like you. People want to hear what you have to say. People want to be around you. People want your knowledge until you walk away and you don't have that thing anymore. Then it's like, well, we were only here for the party. We weren't really here for anything else. We weren't trying to, you know what I mean? Like that's the case. You gotta ask yourself, like, honestly, like, who are the people around you, and are they around you just for the party? You know what I mean? Or are they around you for the journey? Cause I ain't got time to party. Like them days, I'm done. I'm way past that. All right, like, here go my fun right here. This what I got for you right here. Like, it's either this or me working on my business, or me taking care of my family, me taking care of my wife, me taking care of my nephew, my niece. Like that's what I'm on, man. And everything I do is for that, with those people in mind. So if you're telling me, like, live life for you and take your advice, for what? Are y'all on the same thing I'm on? Like, is your advice around the motivation of taking care of myself, or around taking care of them? Because if it ain't taking care of them, I really ain't trying to hear it. I ain't gonna cap to you. Anything you saying is pointless to me. and that's real. Like, because I made it your way without even having to take your advice. Like, I did that. I made the things happen. Oh my God, did I just die? I made, certain things happen just following the ways of other people. Just watching, emulating, studying, working hard, like grinding more than the next person. And then I saw how to get to a certain place, and then I saw what that place did to me after I got there, and that wasn't the life for me, right? Like, or at least at this certain location, it's not. Oh, I screwed up. So, I'm waking up one day and I'm just like, man, this place ain't for me. Decide, talk to my wife. I'm like, I'm out. And I screwed up. Everybody want, to tell me something, right? But it's like, who y'all think I'm most afraid of? Who opinion do y'all think I care about more? Like, yours or my wife's? Like, come on, get real. Like, everyone would tell you this and that, but it's like, man, they weren't for you in the beginning. Just because they didn't see your journey and they didn't see everything that you went through and experienced and go through your same experiences and learn the same lessons that you learned. Like, they wasn't there for that. So now you made it. Now they there for that. Oh, you want to leave? Like, why would you ruin this good thing for us? Like, that's that's how I see the advice that I get. I don't really see it's like, oh, well, you got to do what's best for you, and you got to make sure you're staying true to yourself. Man, stay true to yourself until it messes up my pocket, until it messes up my money, until it messes up my reputation, until it messes up this good thing that we got going. All right. Now we ain't got nothing good no more. I don't care what you do. Go stay true to yourself. It's funny. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and I was telling him, I'm leaving, and I got some plans, et cetera, and he made a joke. And I said, like, if stuff gets bad, I'll just move in with you and your lady. And he said, like, well, this is where you find out where your real friends are. He's probably joking, but I know damn well, like, that's real. Like, that's real. That's where you find that out for real. And it's not even about, like, who your day one, who's gonna ride for you and all that. That's not what it's about at all. It's like, when you up, everyone around you, everyone your friend. when you ain't up no more, right? And it's not popular to rock with you, then what you think people gonna do? They gonna bounce and find the next person they looking for to party. Right? Like, that's just the truth. That's just the truth. You got to really ask yourself that if you really trying to walk out on a leap of faith if you really, trying to live your life proud of the things that you're doing, and live your life following your passion, following your goal, whatever the case may be, following your faith. You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be. What you think of people gonna do? They gonna support you? I doubt it. I doubt it. The real ones will, don't get me wrong, but you gonna find out real soon, oh, y'all really wasn't, bro. Y'all really wasn't for me y'all say y'all was. Y'all really wasn't with me like I thought y'all was. Man, I had to learn that. I didn't even quit yet. And I started to learn more things about me, and started to own who I was and own the things that I like to do. Oh my God. And I started seeing people just drop off slowly, because I wasn't talking about the same stuff I used to talk about, or I used to be entertained by. Now it's stuff that certain stuff doesn't entertain me. I really don't care about what this person is doing or that person is doing. If you calling somebody to gossip, I'm the wrong person to call. I ain't gonna lie to you. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I really don't care. In fact, it's not that I don't care, it's that I don't know what you're talking about. I was in Vegas not too long ago, and someone was bringing up, bro, what was I supposed to do? Someone was bringing up Tristan Thompson to me. And, I'm a huge basketball fan, so I'm thinking, oh, where did he get signed to or whatever? I'm really not thinking nothing of it. Man, they started talking to me about somebody's dating or something. I'm like, bro, what? I don't pay attention to what other people are doing to that level, especially as an adult. First off, let's keep it a buck. I said I work in tech, right? This was at a tech conference, so this is not with your high school gossiping or nothing like that, supposedly. But it's tech people. It's rich people. You know what I mean? People that's quote unquote made it, and all they want to do is gossip about this one and that one, and what this person is doing, what that person is doing. So now, because I'm not talking about that kind of stuff, here I go again. Now I'm the weirdo. Now, bruh. Now I'm the weirdo. Now it's he's not cool no more. Right? He don't want to talk about this stuff. I got some friends that will talk to me, hit me up, and the conversation will die super quick, because they telling me something similar, about this one or about that one, or some opinionated comment about basketball with no facts. Nothing about the actual sport itself, just about the players. And I'm like, man, come on, man. We really still on that? We still idolizing people? We still on that, man? I'm done with that. And as soon as you start out, you don't even gotta announce it, if I'm being honest. Just being done with it, people can tell. And as soon as you're done with it, what you think gonna happen? They gonna be done with you, because you ain't, you know what I'm saying? Now you not on the. No way that just happened. Now you're not on the same goofiness that they on. So if you're not with us, that's how they see it. If you're not with us, then we not with you. Meanwhile, just because I don't want to talk about it doesn't mean I don't want to talk. Now I got something different to talk about. Right? Now I have something to educate you. Now I have something to inspire you. Now I have something to make you better. And even if it's not you, make other people better. And if you don't want to hear it, then bet. When you're ready to hear it, I'll be here. But nah, it's well, because I ain't ready to hear it, or because you're not talking about it now, it ain't really nothing else to discuss. You know what I mean? That's how certain people see it, and that's how certain people will treat it. Let me say this. Let's say think about it. When you born into this world, you wake up, brand new world. At 4 years old or 5 years old, what are you doing? you leaving the crib for the first time and you going to school. And you do that at 4 years old, be placed in a system where you learn a whole bunch of classes. Now how old are you? You go through all that schooling. Now you 18 or 17, you graduate high school. Now what's next? You know what's next after that? Now, okay, that falls. Now you are going in all right, bet. Now you go to college, so you just go to adult school essentially, and instead of learning a whole bunch of preset classes, you learning something that's tailored to you specifically, to your skills or your field of study, whatever it is that you choose to do, whether you go to trade school, college, whatever. You learning something that can ultimately produce you money for your skill set. After you go that and you work for a corporation, you think you free? Like, you think you an adult? Like, you think you're your own person now? That's cap. Because now what you doing is you working for somebody and you going to basically school forever, except you're doing one class now. Yeah, like that class that you signed up for, that job that you got, that's your class from now on. Right? Like, that's what you about to be working on for the next, until you're not doing it no more. So could be forever until you retire, if you retire. Right? Like, that's the truth of it. So now, when you basically in school, all those people you went to school with, all those people with these jobs, all those people with this, that, and the other, all those things that they telling you, you should have, you basically just been in school your whole life, and people are afraid to not follow that system. Not afraid to leave school. Essentially. Afraid to do something that's not in the school system. And I ain't talking about, what am I saying? I ain't talking about education or anything like that. Wow. It's the system that I'm describing is how we are all born and raised and how we all grow up in. So now when you in a nice school like tech, remember I'm saying school is just a system. When you in a nice school like tech, what do at that point, you're basically in an Ivy League school. At that point, you're golden, right? Your school system is better than any other school system. So, or many others. I ain't gonna say all of them, but then many others. So now, what are people, expecting? They're expecting you to stay there basically forever. And a lot of people do that. And I wanted to do that. I didn't want to ever leave this particular place. Oh, that's so Aggie. But when I discovered that it wasn't for me and it wasn't protecting my peace, I bounced. You know what I mean? I dipped. I left. And, I heard a lot of stuff. I hear a lot of stuff. People that quote unquote believe in me. They just waiting to see what happens. Waiting to see even if I run back, I'm waiting to see what happens. Shit, I don't know either. We about to find out together. Right? But what am I going to be afraid for? What would I be afraid for when every single person that's telling me to stay are the same people that's been in the same system that I've been in since birth? And now you telling me, I should stay because you're afraid. When you take that leap and you walk outside the system, basically every step you take is brand new. It's dark, right? It's like, all right, this a step I ain't never been on. And then you land on something and you oh, okay, it's not an edge. It's actually something past this point. Then you take another step. And then you take another step, and next thing you know, you walking, right? Everyone behind you, which you can see because you just left that place, so you can see land, you can see light, you can see everything that you need to see. Everyone behind you is like, "Oh, come back! What are you doing? It's scary over there. It's dangerous. It's dangerous." And you're like, I feel you, but I just took a couple steps and I'm still walking. I just took a couple steps and I'm still moving. Like, that's crazy. Let me just take a couple more steps. And next thing you know, you discovered stuff and places that you never discovered before just because you wasn't afraid. Or it's not that because you weren't afraid, it's because you didn't let the fear motivate your life, right? And a lot of people do that because they are so afraid to try something new because they've been doing the same thing forever. And if you try something different, obviously people are gonna hate you for it, not because you're different, but because you're doing something that they probably wish they had the courage to do, or because you do it, you make it looks easy for you. Now life is easy, but in reality, like, are you really ready for the grind? Like, are you really ready to just say, "Yo, I quit this security. Like, what I have right now, I'm done with." You know what I mean? Like, are you really willing to do that? Because I tell you something, it's the scariest thing I ever did in my life. So I mean, a lot of the scariest stuff that I actually encounter in my life is anything involving commitment. Proposing to my lady, terrifying. I don't know how it is for most people, but for me, it was terrifying. And I did it anyway. All right. Best decision I made so far in my life. Leaving my job. I don't know what's about to happen, but I guarantee you, that's me committing to my grind and my craft. Terrifying. So I'm supposed to do because I'm terrified. It's like, oh, just turn back. Turn back. It's safety over here. It's safety. Look. For what? I was, before I had this security, before I had this stuff, bro, I had nothing. Bro, before I had a computer to even play games on, I didn't have this. Like, this is all this stuff to me that I have is a blessing from just me walking that walk alone, right? And that's with nobody around. All right, that's with nobody saying, their input on my life. Now I finally am blessed enough to even get on, wake up, stream like old games that I like, bro. Like, come on now. And had a courage to do it. Oh my guys, I'm trash. Have the courage to like share it with people and talk about experiences and stuff like that. I had the confidence to do this because when I had nothing and no one was saying it, I was doing this, as a hobby. Now I have stuff and things to share. Now it's time for me to give back. Like, what am I afraid of, right? Like, for what? What are you afraid of? I'm being honest. All right, I'm gonna just blame it on my controller. Otherwise, this game is super aggy. I know people are probably watching. If they're watching this later, it's like, man, you trash. But it's the game. Trust me. Trust me. It ain't me. It can't be me, right? Bro, it's the controller. I'm telling you. So yeah, man. Like, that's the point of not being afraid. You know what I'm starting doing? Like, every Monday on my other channel, my Kingcayne channel, I'm gonna start just posting motivational like videos, like just stuff that I edit, right? Like, I got a lot of funny stories that I walk people through, and I find them hilarious, and they do too. So like, I'm thinking like, all right, I'll just share, make it kind of artistic too, so it's mildly entertaining, and I like being creative as possible. The business that I started is called Kingcayne Creative. I haven't really released it on like any public platforms, anything like that. Like, it's out there. If you are a professional and you have your skill set and everything like that, something I would tell you to not be afraid to look into is like contract work. You'd be surprised at how much you can make from doing contract work. And contract could be, it doesn't have to be like, you were like a electrician or something like that. But bro, if you, I'm telling y'all, it's the controller. I'm telling you, if you, all right, that was me. Let's say like you got like project management skills or something like that, or or something that you acquired over the years of skills of work and stuff like that. You can easily find like a contract for your skills. That way you're not working directly for a company, but you still utilizing your gifts and obviously eating and paying your bills and stuff like that. So it's plenty of different work options out there, and you'd be surprised at how much money you get for contract work. Now a lot of people are focused on benefits. Obviously that's important. So if you gotta do full-time work, like, don't be afraid to do that. I've seen a lot of people be successful at their full-time job and start their passion and start their career and do things that they like to do. Like, obviously, like I did this when I had this role. Like, I got a lot of this stuff because of that place. Like, don't get me wrong, like, it'll help build you up, but don't let it be your crutch, right? Like don't let it be the thing that makes you get out of bed just because you have to get out of bed, or just because you have to go. Like, that's a terrible way to conduct your business, terrible way to conduct your career, because then you're not understanding the value that you actually bring. So when you get to a point where you actually feel like, all right, it's time, like, I'm done with X, Y, and Z. Like, don't be afraid to take the leap. Because it's plenty of different options out here. The options of how I started in the place, actually options how I'm looking at leaving the place, and you'd be surprised at the immediate response and reaction that I get from recruiters and from different companies like wanting my service. I mean, thank God they haven't seen me play Crash Bandicoot, because they be like, oh nah, we don't trust your hand-eye coordination. You might mess up an email or something. But nah, man, like, you'd be surprised. Like, people want your services, people want your skills, and don't be afraid to like know that you are worth something. By the way, like, you'd be surprised that I met this kid. I brought him up before, and shout out to my boy Daniel, because he actually does watch us, at least on YouTube. I met this kid, super smart, super talented, but I noticed the difference between the stuff that he's like 20 years old, and I know the stuff that he found interesting and liked was different than any other professional that I've been working with. And the craziest thing is he was just showing me stuff that he grew up with, like showing me stuff that he's worked on since a child, like showing me like just things that he was passionate about. And I'm looking at it like, man, like, you'd be surprised, but people would pay you for all this. So we just started chatting. I just started learning more and more about things that he was interested in, more and more about what, just him in general. Just started watching, just started looking, and I can just tell that as he continues to follow his passion, as long as he doesn't lose that drive, oh yeah, he's gonna be real successful. It's obvious. When I got into corporate, I didn't really have a goal or I had skills, right? Like I had things that I'm good at. I have things that I'm good at, so I know how to make money off those things, which is great. I ain't saying like everything you do you gotta be passionate about, but sometimes when your passion and your skills align, bro, that's the most beautiful art that you can make. Like, I love basketball, man. Like, just look at, rest in peace Kobe Bryant, but just look at someone with that level of passion and dedication when they are working in a field where they're just displaying their best art all day, every day. No matter who is in the arena, no matter who is there, no matter who is showing up, like, yo, I'm about to put on a show. Right? Like, that's when you really produce your best work. Also, when you feel like you can't do something, that's probably the best time to try something. I ain't gonna lie to you, like, yeah, I gotta do this one level and then I can stop. But this is gonna irk me. I can't just walk away. Like, when you're afraid to do something, you'd be surprised at the results that you get when you just try it. You just be surprised. Like, you probably surprise yourself. It's not like, you know, doing it for other people. All the stuff about not being afraid and not having fear is literally just about you just trying things out for yourself and seeing if they work. You betting on yourself. Like, you can go to the casino and bet and, you know, crap out and all that, or you can bet on yourself. It's up to you. You can bet on other people, what they saying, what they done, or you can bet on you. All right, like, you were born with a gift. Why would I make a video saying you have purpose, and then you discover that you have purpose, and then me not tell you, like, yo, invest in that purpose? That don't even make sense. It doesn't make sense that you're worth something, that you have something of value, that you have skills, traits, passions, and experiences that only you have. Because remember, only you can be you. Why would you not invest in it? That don't even make sense. What's the point? What's the point of you if you don't even want you? What's the point of you if you're not even trying to, you know, figure out what you can do? Well, if that's the case, I'll just go look for anybody, because it really don't matter. It really doesn't matter what I'm getting from you. You don't even invest in you. Shoot. I can just turn on the TV or log on Twitter and get a million of you, a million of people just, you know, investing in everything but themselves. Like, why be that person? Because they're going to exist. Trust me. It's always going to be that person that says something, comment something. You can make content or you can make comments. I mean, that's just, it's just no way around that. Like, you can make comments, you can make content. And your content could be like mine, where I'm just crashing and burning, you know, every single time in these trials, or or your content could be fire, where you actually just produce some heat. But how would you know if you've never even tried or got there and invested in yourself? And I'm not gonna lie, this is probably my last one, because I got my wisdom teeth pulled not too long ago, and this talking is killing me. But, you know, I hope it's some gems in here. Like, that's the point of this, gems in gaming. Yo, if you don't, please do me a favor. Go ahead and subscribe. I feel confident, like, saying that now that I'm not working for anyone, or at least currently. You know, because I don't have any endorsements, partnerships, nothing like that. But I feel confident just saying, like, yo, just if you rock with it, yo, just subscribe and follow me on any platform. You know, I got this on Twitch, YouTube, IG. My Twitter is low, bro. I don't got no follow. I started it. I was trying to follow people, man, but that whole, I wasn't a huge fan of the platform, but I do know it's a way of communication, so I ain't afraid to get on if people really want to chat. You know, at some point. But yeah, like rock with me, follow this journey. Now that I quit, it's like I got something to keep people entertained. I either got the supporters seeing if I can make it, or I got the haters just waiting for me to fail. Either way, it's gonna be entertaining. It's gonna be entertaining for me. I say it like that. I don't know about everybody, but it's gonna be entertaining for me for sure. Cause I don't know what's gonna happen either, bro. It's the controller, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. So we gonna find out, right? We're gonna find out together. Dog, I seen this guy play this once. I mean, I seen a lot of people play it, but I seen this one particular guy play this once. And I think he said this is the most difficult game ever. I ain't gonna say that's the case, but it's as aggravating as though it actually is. But it's really not. Like, it's really not. Like, this really is just because I'm talking, right? Like, that's the only reason I'm not doing this well. All right. I know I said I was about to dip, but like, honestly, like, this level was pretty easy. I just gotta get through it real quick. Show y'all that, you know, even though I'm not killing it the first time, I'm not afraid to fail. I'm not afraid to keep going. You don't know what's past this fog. You don't know what's past the fog, right? Who cares? Who cares? Like, you just keep going. You just keep going, man. I'm telling you, like, it's always gonna be somebody rooting for you to fail. Why not? And I mean, ain't that, what's the point? Oh, what's the point of, bro? I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm pressing the jump button mad hard. Bro. But what's the point of a good story without a villain? Is there a good story without a villain? Like, honestly, like, yeah, everything's just peaceful. Like, you just wake up, like, Batman's just looking outside. He's just like, Gotham is beautiful. Never having to put on his mask, never having to be dark, never having to fall from getting back up. Like, is that a good story? That don't sound like a good story to me. That sounds mad boring. There's no Batman. He's just Bruce Wayne, just a dude in corporate going to work, you know, making billions. Like, we live in that world today. Ain't nobody talking about that. Because, I mean, if you do, you're looking on the news and all you're doing is looking at, you know, what are you looking at that point? You're just looking at hateful news and, you know, this guy's face on the screen basically telling you the news and stuff like that. So, you know, it's so much better to just be the hero of your own story, man. I just, like, it's no other way for me to tell you. There's nothing else for me to say. Like, if I'm being honest. I mean, trust me. I did a lot. I've been many places. I've been rich. You know, not like generationally or anything like that, but in a scheme of, or in the scope of like the average household income, I've been rich. I've been poor. Like Charles Barkley said, I've been fat. I've been skinny. You know, I done did it all, and I'm telling you, ain't no better way to live but being a hero of your own story. It's gonna suck. Everyone's gonna judge you. Everyone's gonna have like their own opinion on how you should live and how you should superhero and how you should be and all that stuff. But like, come on, man, regular people can't tell Clark Kent how to be Superman. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine Jesus trying to teach the people and he was just listening to like your average corporate worker. What are you doing? Teaching and preaching? Like, just get a real job. Oh my God. Look, I mean, where would we be? Where would we be if certain people actually listened to the haters, bro? I have a dream. Shut up, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Okay. Like, come on now. Oh, where would we be if that was the case? If he actually did that? If he was just like, all right, bet. You know what? You right, y'all. Like, I'm gonna just be quiet and go back home and like, come on now. Where will we be if you listen to your hater? If every hero of a story listened to their haters and not to you know, something valuable. Instead of like, you know, valuable, like someone's showing you support. You know what I mean? Like saying you can do it, you can make it. But instead you listen over here where someone's like, you'll never make it, you're trash, don't live like that, live like me. It's like, okay. That's what and Oh dang, I think I need it. Oh my god. Isn't that what the Joker did? Wasn't that his whole purpose? Like trying to tell Batman his his way of living is stupid. Telling him like, bro. Now honestly, like I said, my mouth is hurting, so I'm really done after. Listen. I know what y'all thinking. I'm trash. And I don't necessarily disagree with that, but this game is mad aggravating. Let me just say that. But it's okay, because I see the end, and we only made it to the end because we weren't afraid to fail. Right? So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. We kept pushing towards the end, and then that's the way to do it. That's the way you gotta do it. And you can't do it. I don't care what anybody says. So just believe in yourself. Don't be afraid.